Welcome to A&M Reviews. I'm Skybear, and I'm here with my buddy Sal. What's up, Sal?
Not much.
And keep in mind there will be spoilers up ahead, so watch out for that.
You've been warned.
Alright, so today we were talking about Annihilation, the brand new release of Natalie Portman and company. What do we think about this movie, Sal?
Well, it's a thinker. It leaves you thinking at the end.
No, exactly. That's what I appreciate about this movie. It's a movie where you have to think about it.
Yeah, you can't just walk out of the theater
For
and be
once.
like and say, "Oh yeah, this is what I think." You have to digest this movie. So it's a good thing that we haven't talked about the ending, which we're gonna do now. Before we talk about the ending, let's talk about the movie in general.
Yeah.
What you like about the movie?
Well, for one, beautiful movie. I thought this was an incredibly beautiful film to watch.
Yes, I agree with that.
And I love the genre blending, and I love how this is a pseudo Day of the Triffids remake, if anyone remembers that.
I liked once they went into the shimmer, everything inside the shimmer was like upside down, if I can say that. Like, it didn't make sense, but at the same time you appreciated the way they showed that, like when they said this vine has different flowers growing out of it, showing the mutations going on and stuff like that. I like that. The only thing I did not like that I wish they would have had included was, because we saw three, if you count the deers, three different animals in the movie. We didn't see no insects. I wanted to see at least like a dragonfly over the swamp being mutated or something with different insects or something. I didn't see that. I heard birds, but we never saw birds. I heard a wolf, but never saw a wolf. So we saw a bear, we saw an alligator,
And we saw those like new deer.
new deer. Yeah, it was like a mixture between different creatures, but mostly the characteristics was of a deer. It was fairly well done. I liked the added feature of the leaves growing out of the antlers. That was amazing. Like I said, I wanted to see other insects, even if it was like a bird flying through the scene or just like on a tree, maybe a parrot mixed with something else. I know it's kind of expensive to do CG out of, start from scratch, create a new thing, but it would have added a more realistic element to the whole movie.
Do you know how expensive that CG bear was, Sal? Do you know how expensive that crocodile was?
I'm pretty sure it was expensive. I know it was
They
expensive.
made two of those deer.
That's why they had to shoot the deer from far away. So like, no, just make it like all the way over there, just generically. Don't zoom in on it. That means more features. That's my only complaint. It's not a big complaint. I'm not taking anything away, but I'm just saying,
I only really have 3 complaints with this movie.
Okay.
One, it is kind of a little slow.
That it was.
Yeah, like, it definitely could have picked up the pace a little bit, because, sometimes people take forever to reply, and it's just so slow. But, it's not too bad.
And the thing is, they could have included a little more story in between those, like, silent breaks, like, there's some stuff that we're left in the dark. Like, wait, why did this happen? Wait, talk more about this. It's like a back history. I need to know more about this. What led you to this decision? But they just passed by that like nothing. And the movie, like you said, is sort of slow. There's that awkward silence sometimes.
But I think that also like plays in with the events of the movie, because what is it, like the characters, we're also left in the dark, and we also have no idea like how this all came together.
Yes.
Which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, the thing that I liked about the characters was that they themselves didn't know what they were getting into and anything about the other people they were teamed up with, like, and they all had their vices they had to deal with. So that was kind of interesting from what I saw.
Right. Yeah. But also, the other thing that I didn't really like was some of the dialogue was really out of place. It also made the characters really stupid, but only like a couple of them. And like, when I watched it, the whole theater laughed. Like, and especially with the other problem, Gina Rodriguez's character. It also ties in with, some lines of dialogue. It was when we see the camera footage of Oscar Isaac doing spoopy stuff.
Yes. Yes.
And then she's just like, it was a trick of the light. Like, the whole theater, like, just laughed, and we were all just like, what the fuck? What do you mean it was a trick of the light? Aren't you a scientist? Don't you know how footage works?
Exactly. That's what I wanted to be like. Wait, so you're trying to say that these guys did it on purpose? They were joking around and saying like, "Hey, let's film ourselves," and whoever finds this footage is gonna be fucking clueless of what we did. Fuck yeah, let's do a magic trick.
Yeah, it was just a trick of the light.
These people were in the brink of dying, and they left you evidence, and you, as a scientist, should take it as evidence. And yes, you might have your doubts, but at the same time, make a hypothesis and scientific method. You know, you're a scientist. That's the other thing that I kind of had a little issue with, was that they're all scientists, and the only person that was taking samples was the biologist. No, yeah, and the other people were not collecting data. Oh, the only one that's not a scientist was Gina Rodriguez. She was not a scientist. She was just there for the gunpowder. But the other people had no reason for not to stand around and be like, okay, we need data. Oh, this is the reason why something, you know, science. You know, I wanted a little more of that aspect. Or for them to conclude something. The only person that I saw concluding something was, who is it, the girl that turns into the tree or to the plant?
Right.
She basically concluded like, oh, is the prism effect. And I'm looking at Natalie Portman going like, hey, yeah, isn't that your job to kind of say something? And then Natalie Portman was going behind their backs, kind of like taking data and looking at the microscope and stuff like that. I'm like, shouldn't you share that data with them, or would that freak them out? But at the same time, shouldn't they know what they're dealing with?
I think it would freak them out after watching that footage.
Yeah, but I mean, like, wouldn't it make them ponder of, you know, what they've seen themselves? Like, the other girl's like, I see my fingerprints moving. So I was like, wouldn't that basically be like, okay, now I understand, because it's inside of me. Okay, so it's not freaking me out anymore as much as it is. I'm still freaked out, but now I guess I understand the basis behind my fingerprints moving. Maybe they did it on purpose just to make us feel like we're also there.
Overall, I think those are my only gripes with the movie. Everything else, like, I was totally down with.
Yeah, and the other little minor thing was that what led her to cheat. I mean, that's kind of like, they showed the scene when she's in bed with the other guy, but that was it. And they had a small little dialogue, which I think was no more than a minute or a minute and a half.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, wouldn't you want to explain to people why you're cheating? It kind of would have made sense. But
because then, like, it's up for the audience to try and figure out, you know, and like piece together their own story from it, which is also ties in with the movie's ending of how ambiguous it is.
Okay, so I mean, I'll give you that it leads it up to the viewer to dictate why, the reason of her, why she was led to cheating. But just to talk about it and just show it in a minute and a half, wouldn't there be like other little flashbacks that would have basically like added to it, not to basically lead you in one way, but just because, first of all, like, here's my thing, like, I think me and you were saying, how long has she been cheating for? Was she cheating before?
I don't know. From the scene, I thought it was like a one-time thing.
No, but the guy says, does he know about our affair? Which, an affair is not like a one-night stand thing.
Oh, but yeah, no, you're right. He did say affair. Okay, I do remember that. But the movie's ending, Sal. What happened with the movie's ending?
Movie's ending. Okay.
Yeah, Natalie Portman, like, gets to the lighthouse. She finds Dr. Jennifer Jason Leigh, and and then all of a sudden, Alien comes out, and then what is it? Destroys the alien. Shimmer goes away, and then we end up at quarantine again with Oscar Isaac, and then dun dun dun. Are they both aliens? Do you think that Natalie Portman is actually another doppelganger? Or do you think that she's still Natalie Portman, but since, like, she said, like, the shimmer was already in her, like, that's why it's a part of her?
See, I want to think that she's still Natalie Portman.
Yeah, that's what I want to believe, but, like, I don't know if, like, the shimmer is taking hold of her. That's it.
But here's the thing. Remember that at the end, when everything started burning, the shimmer left everything? So wouldn't it leave her body too? Because it left the doppelganger's body, like, his symptoms cleared up. But here's the thing. It just left the core, which is basically her husband's DNA in the body in an alien vessel. Does that make sense? It's not her husband. It's a vessel, but it still has his DNA, but no shimmer DNA.
But no, I think Oscar Isaac is definitely just a host for the body. Or for the alien form.
Yes.
And I think that was, like, the part of Annihilation that she was talking, or that Dr. Jennifer Jason Leigh was talking about, because, like, that's why like it's creating something new out of our existing environment, and from that it's trying to like it's trying to like, you know, figure out like, okay, how do I make an exact copy of this? And that's why I think like everything in the Shimmer was just like a bunch of trial and error stuff.
Yeah. So we do see that when they hug, there's a little shimmer in their eyes. At the
Right.
same time, when she's getting interrogated and she drinks water, you see, like, normally water would just flow as a bubble down like a stream, but you see it divide into two parts. So that kind of tells you, like, is the like you said, the question is the shimmer still in her?
Right. But I mean, that's why like it's up to the viewer to figure out. And honestly, I think that Natalie Portman is just like just how like has it in her, but I don't think that it's taken over her.
Okay, so my final conclusion of the movie was that Natalie Portman is still Natalie Portman, like you said, but her husband is the alien. But just
Right. Definitely a doppelganger.
yes, she accepts him because she says, like, okay, like, look, you're not him anymore, so I can take you and I can start all over with you. Like, I messed up with Kane, like the original guy. He went in there, like, destroyed. You're new. You're still part of him, so I can kind of restart the relationship with you. And I think that's good enough for her.
And I also really enjoyed just like the theme of just self-destruction between all the characters and just the overall movie.
Yes.
And I don't know. Just something about this movie was just really enjoyable to watch, and also just watching all of the ending, so beautiful.
Yes. Yeah, I really like the scene when, like, she's in the firehouse and the firehouse is burning and everything around her, like everything, like inside the shimmer. I liked how it was done. Like, at the coast, there's the crystal trees, and then how they start burning and everything. Everything was done in a style that brought satisfaction to the movie. Like, it wasn't just like, oh yeah, everything's burning. It's artful, in a sense. Like,
Right.
it's
Exactly.
it's taking the, like, the what you said, like the shimmer is not destroying, is trying to test things, is trying to get it right, and at the end is like, okay, everything is burning, but even it burning is still mesmerizing, in a sense. Is like,
Right.
it's calming. It's not like a raging fire. It's just like bringing calmness to it, and I thought that was well done. And also, you can see it that is probably, like, even Natalie Portman's internal debate within herself. You know, like, she goes into the shimmer, she sees everything chaotically, you know, but once she comes out, it's like, okay, everything is kind of working out. Like, she goes in there with problems. Even people, like, I want to say this, like you said, everybody goes in there, well, destroying themselves, correct? Like, one is an alcoholic. One of them
Well,
is a cutter.
even the alien life form is just destroying everything, but then it's like trying to fix it
Yes.
too, because I think that's just its survival instinct, because like that's how it's trying to survive.
Yes. Like, it doesn't
Like,
know, it met us, which we are foreign to it, DNA wise, and it's trying to make sense out of our DNA, and it's like a
but
like a
then
puzzle.
also, but then also through the characters, you know, actions, like even like from the past, isn't that also their own way of trying to survive their own lives?
Yes.
Like that's why like Gina Rodriguez was a recovering alcoholic, because, you know, she was just trying to get through the pain, and like
Yep.
same with Tessa Thompson's character and Natalie Portman, like something wasn't right in her marriage, so then she had an affair just because like she was trying to get through life.
Yeah.
And just this movie was so good.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed it. I mean,
And have no fear, because if you can't make it to the theater, it should be out on Netflix March 12th, or at least I remember seeing a promo for that.
yeah. I mean, I know once it's there on Netflix, I'm gonna watch it again, and, you know, I'm sure I'm gonna pick up little other things in the movie, but overall, I think we kind of got it. And the ending, don't worry if you think it's one way and somebody else thinks it's a different way. That's the way it was meant to be. It's for you to make up your own ending and conclude it.
Exactly. So what would you grade this movie, Sal?
I would give it a 7.5 to 8 out of 10.
Yeah, no, I was thinking like an 8 or an 8.5 maybe.
Well, I'm just giving it a little lower because I mean, like, I really wanted a little more backstory, just saying why she cheated, and once they go into like some of the scenes were kind of cheesy, like you said, but overall the movie did score high on me. It's I'm actually leaning to buy the book and read the book.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely want to read the
Yeah.
book. I want to see what happens with that. And it's also like part of a book series, so or at least I think like a trilogy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it's just like, oh, there's more to this, Sal. I'm
Yes,
excited.
I think that's where I'm gonna get my backstory that I wanted. So that's why I'm interested in the books.
Yeah. So that's it for our review of Annihilation. Check us out next time when we review A Wrinkle in Time. Ooh, I'm excited for this one.
Yep, I'm reading the book.
Yep, me too. And social media is in the description, and hit us up if you have any questions.
And remember, keep watching movies.